Atwood. I am a faculty member in the communications department here at BCIT. I've been asked to talk about my most recent publication, which I kind of got in under a disguise. My most recent publication is actually videos. I've been making YouTube videos. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the history of the project. About 7 years ago, I decided to write my first textbook. I believe that textbooks should be low cost. There's a movement out of the US. It's called ZCT. I'll translate that to Canadian. That's ZTC, zero cost textbooks. I understand why there's a charge for textbooks, but I wish that more resources were available to students, especially in a post-internet learning environment. So I wrote a textbook on professional business practice, a course I was teaching at the time. It worked really well. I enjoyed being able to customize what my students wanted and being able to present the information in a way that was really useful for them. One thing I often find with textbooks, it almost feels like there's a minimum length or a word count or a page count. Quite often there's a lot of information, but the verbosity surrounding it, the number of words surrounding it, is a lot. And especially at BCIT, our students are busy, they have heavy workloads. So I want to be really aware of asking them only to read that which is most important. And I take it upon myself, it's my responsibility to present that information in a way that's super efficient. Things that they can read quickly and easily and understand quickly and easily. I think it's especially incumbent on us in the communications department to be effective communicators. So I wrote a second textbook on business presentations. I was teaching people how to present. And again, there's a million textbooks in the world. There's a lot of great books on presentations. But again, I felt like we were presenting students with theory rather than practice. So I'm a big fan of practical, effective communication. Which brings me to my current work. I had been wanting for some time to write a book on communication. And I started, and it just wasn't going anywhere. Long story short, I realized students are not looking for one more thing to read. To be honest, I would ask them to do readings. Half the class would do it, half the class wouldn't. So you either go ahead without the people who didn't do the reading following, or you waste the time of the people who did do the reading by covering it again in class. So I thought, videos. People like to watch videos. A really long prologue. My current project is creating my courses on video. I call them mini workshops. I'm a big fan of a mini lecture. Let's do something, let's put it into action. Let's learn something, let's practice it. Let's try it while we're with the instructor. We can get instant feedback. So I created these videos and I cut my communications courses into small modules. Some of the videos are as short as a couple of minutes. AI has made a huge difference in communication. It's helping people write. I love it because it helps people who have, for example, English as an additional language. And English, if you're familiar with the language, is awful. The rules are not consistent. It's really hard to learn, especially around little things like pronouns and articles. So AI can really help smooth out the bumps if you have an accent to your writing. It can help people generate ideas. But if your work is easily done by AI, you will probably be replaced by AI. So I like to teach people how to use AI to complement their work. And I think this is an important movement in the communication education areas. Is there a theme or intention that goes through my work? Absolutely. It's empowerment and communication. I honestly believe that the better we can communicate, the more confident we feel. And when we feel confident, we feel empowered to do the things that we need to do to make the world a better place. I believe that the younger generations, they have a lot of knowledge and power that pre-internet generations just didn't have. I think younger generations are more self-aware, they're more emotionally mature, and I want to empower them. I want to empower them to help save our world. Not so much save our world, save ourselves. Because humanity, we will burn ourselves off this earth. So we need to move away from the traditional capitalist approach. We need sharing economies, economies of compassion and support. And the only way we can do this is through empowered communication. I might be getting a little too high level, but yeah, my big goal is to empower people to do the good that their community, their country, their world needs. What inspires me to write is a funny question because I rarely am inspired to write. Most times I'd rather do anything else. I have to write. It's kind of like saying what inspires you to breathe? My body, my brain. It's the same with writing. I am a writer. I'm from a family of writers. I have been reading as long as I can remember. I find great solace and joy in books. And what goes in must come out. I love to write. I write most mornings for not a specific time until I feel like I'm done or until I have to go to work. And I write a lot on weekends. I'm constantly writing things. I write articles on my blog. I post articles on various social sites. I'm constantly writing guest articles for publications. I just feel a need to share this big audacious goal of helping people communicate and find their confidence. Like I said, I've published a book on financial wisdom for women. I've published 2 communication manuals. I've published 2 textbooks that are OER, Open Educational Resources. So they're online, they're free, and they are sharing, which means that if you're an instructor, for example, you might find something of use in the book. You can copy it, you can repurpose it, and you can take some or all of it. It's out there as a resource to share. Have I published anything else? I've edited, I've proofread several books, but that's about it, I think, for my publishing. And of course, the videos I'm working on right now. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I write most mornings. It has to come out. And I found in my life, I've gone through times where I waited to be inspired. And I love the expression that amateurs wait for inspiration, professionals just do it. In my experience, developing a practice has made a huge difference. So I don't wait until I'm in the mood to write. I just go and write to see what's coming out of my brain. For me, I write to see what I'm thinking. If I'm just thinking it, there's so much else in there. There's so much else in my environment. It's distracting. It's when I'm writing that I can really see the ideas start to come out. Does my writing inform my work at BCIT? Yeah, it absolutely does. And BCIT is like my field school. I get to test these ideas on students. Now, they're not raw. I go through quite a process before I test ideas on students. And I also get their feedback. I watch what works and how they enjoy to learn, because I think it's not just the quality of your content, not just the quality of your lessons, but the manner it's presented. I'm not a big fan of edutainment, but I believe that education has to be accessible. And part of being accessible means making it easy for students to quickly consume and easily understand. A personal level, there's an author named Mike Dooley who talks a lot about achieving goals. He inspired me personally. On written levels, of course, Margaret Atwood, we share a last name. I've gotten into a couple of book signing events because of that name, so I'll credit her. And on a personal note, my grandmother, she documented some of the history of BC. And I always found it really interesting to watch her doing her research. And she started out using a typewriter, and before she died, had her own computer. So she was able to enjoy word processing, which can really change the writing process. So I'm working on a bunch of videos now of mini textbooks, mini lessons of the many different courses that I teach. My next one, I believe, will be how to give bad news. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be exciting. I can tell that.